All right. I hit that start streaming button, which means, Smark, we are probably live right about now.
Let's go.
Right about now. Right now. No, wait, no. We were already live. Now we're like extra live.
Ooh, excellent.
Extra live, folks. What is going on, folks? It is Wrestling Outlet. Obviously, you can see it right there on the screen if you're on YouTube. And I am Boxman. Across from me, as always.
It is Smark. I am here, you are here, they are here, we are all here.
That's right, and you're lovely. You look like you just broke out of prison, but that's neither here nor there.
Yes.
So how's it been going, man? How's it been going?
Yeah, it's been going all right.
All right.
Birthday was last Monday.
Mm-hmm.
I forgot when I was born. How about that? We're off to a great start.
Happy birthday. Happy belated birthday. I wish you had birthday then, but happy birthday again.
Thank you. I appreciate it. It's been a journey.
Yeah. Has been a journey, to say the least. Everything's a journey. So you want to hear a story?
Of course I want to hear a story.
So I've been telling you I'm kind of like in pain, but I couldn't really judge where the pain was. So since about June, I've been telling my wife it feels like my jeans and every pair of pants I wear is riding up like horrible, like front wedgie the whole time I'm wearing pants riding up. Okay?
All right.
That's what I've been feeling the whole time. So this has been since June, which means I went to Florida like this. I went back and forth. I've been in a lot of pain. Pretty much anywhere I sit, anytime I sit down, if I'm not standing, I'm in pain. If I'm walking, I'm in pain. So pretty much since June, I have been hurting right in the DX crotch area.
Yes.
You know, the sides. Like I said, like two straps are being pulled up my legs. Well, come to find out, I finally, the other day, it just got unbearable. I mean, I was like about to cry. I looked at everyone at work said, dude, you're like red, you look sick. You need to go. So I went right to the hospital. So, you know, I start telling them everything, and they go, well, we need to do an ultrasound. I'm like, okay, where? Of your scrotum. Okay, so for about 40 minutes, I had two lovely women playing with my balls with a lot of gel on them, and so that was that. Turns out I had obviously I sat on my balls one day and don't remember doing it. I pinched a nerve. Wait, you're on mute. What'd you say?
You Mr. Belfordred yourself?
Huh?
You Mr. Belfordred yourself?
I guess I did.
You have your story.
Well, I must have sat on one. She said it's usually due to trauma. Otherwise, it's usually some sort of STD, which that I'm not worried about. But obviously, I did that. It became infected, and all the infection was wrapped around a nerve in my balls, which is why every time right now, I'm not going to lie, I'm in pain. I hurt, but this helps. I even said the other night when I did Hackers that, you know, I'm in pain, and I didn't realize how bad it was. I woke up Monday, I thought I was going to die. So they put me on antibiotics, no surgery, thank God. Antibiotics. She said, keep Motrin in me. Eat them like candy was her words. And that was about it. So, yeah, it all wrapped around a nerve. So basically I had an infection on a nerve from trauma to my balls. And I mean, that night I started feeling better, but man, Monday was a strange afternoon for me after I left work. I came home, told my wife I had 2 women playing with my balls. That's why I didn't come home.
Mm-hmm.
It didn't go over well. Then I showed her the doctor's papers. And, oh, good. Okay. So, and she also made me switch to boxer briefs. The doctor. She said you need a little support. Cupping is good. She said you can even get in the bathtub and float them. You can float them on the water a little bit, which is very good. She said if you'd like, you can even ice them. I'm like, ooh, you lost me on that one. No. But
balls on the water. So, in relation to that, kind of similar, not to completely steal your story here.
No, go ahead.
I had been sick about 2 weeks ago at this point. I had Vicks Vapor Rub, and I rubbed it on my chest, but I apparently forgot that it was still some on the hands, and had to conduct business down south for a minute. Just had a scratch, and I forgot that they were still on my fingers, and it hurt, but not necessarily a completely bad thing.
No, and I accidentally did that with Icy Hot once. I mean, it does not feel great, but it doesn't feel the worst.
Yeah, it's a rather peculiar feeling.
Oh, because it's made to heat, cool. So you kind of get that. So it's stimulating yet not. But it works. It does the job, I guess. But yeah, that was my Monday. It was during that. If you remember the Twilight Camp when I was doing the BB gun with the Scouts. That's when I started saying it. God, I feel like the whole time I felt like my pants were in my fucking up in my crotch, and I knew they weren't. I could see them, but my boxers were. One day I need more boxers, and it still felt the same. So I tried getting, I went down a size in jeans. I went up a size in jeans. I tried different size boxers. I tried briefs. I even fucking tried underwear again, tighty whities. None of it worked. None of it was helping. So I finally decided the other day when everyone told me I looked like I was dying, I thought I might have a hernia. So immediately, everyone said if a hernia starts, bleeding or leaking, you could die. So I went to the hospital to make sure I didn't have a hernia, and no hernia, just 2 girls playing with my balls.
So, you've taught me how to game the system. I'm going to have to book a doctor's visit here very shortly.
Yeah, you're playing a little gamble there, Smark. I don't know if you know that.
For any number of reasons. By the way, I don't know if you answered or not, have you heard the Mr. Belvedere rumor? And it's actually not a rumor. It's confirmed true.
It sounds familiar, but haven't heard it, so go ahead and tell it again.
I mean, basically, the rumor is that he once sat on his balls, and he indeed did once sit on his balls. Apparently, it was at a Christmas parade, but it delayed production of one of the seasons of Mr. Belvedere. Oh. So, just think about that for a moment, where it's you have to tell your significant other the reason why your work is delayed is because one of your colleagues sat on their own genitals. That is the most wild fucking thing in the world.
I think it's kind of cool, but no, I must have done it. She said I must have pinched it somehow. I could have done it at work. I could have done it. You'd think I remember that, but I mean, as much as I get hurt, but anyway, I'm not even working there anymore, so. I am in an office in an AC, and not bad right now.
Yeah, very nice.
Yeah, I switched jobs, so it's not bad, man. I'm kind of liking it, actually. It's a little bit stressful, but the days are going. I look up, it's 10. Before I know it, it's lunch, and I look up, it's 4 o'clock after that. So the days are going quick.
It's 5 o'clock somewhere.
Well, absolutely. But I am working 8 to 5 instead of 7 to 4, so I'm getting home a lot later. Getting home about 6:15, which means by the time I get home, I've got about 45 minutes to eat, chill, and AEW comes on. It comes on at 7 here. So it's tough, man. I guess I mentioned it last week. I'm considering possibly moving the show to Thursdays because of that.
I see.
But we'll talk about that later. I mentioned it last week that it might need to happen. I just feel like I'm so rushed with, like I said, coming home, running home. But we'll talk about it. We'll talk about it later. But anyway, I have not drank since Sunday because I've been in too much pain. So a little beer with some antibiotics.
Nice. I heard the old rock star dream over there.
I heard beer antibiotics is good for you.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know who told me that, but probably some fucking idiot.
That was Jimi Hendrix that said that.
Oh, well. Purple haze going all through his head, right?
Mm-hmm.
And I thought I'd let everyone know I did try Mixler one more time today. Deleted it, re-downloaded it. They even had an update that I downloaded. It goes for 9 seconds now instead of 8. So it's still doing the same thing. It's still cutting out. I have emailed them about 6 times asking them if there's any update. I'd expect us to be here a lot more than I'm probably going to cancel it, actually. Matter of fact, I need to cancel it tonight because they're going to charge me tomorrow. So I'm going to cancel right after this show.
It's officially the end of an era. How about it?
There's nothing else I can do, but it kind of is, man. I just don't know what else I can do, but like I said, man, it'll get us to go here. I got a little overexcited with Hackers the other night. They took it off during the show. They yanked the motherfucker off YouTube. I had 2 scenes that I should have listened to better, but like I'm not using the pain as an excuse, but my brain has been elsewhere lately, and I didn't hear the music, and I didn't even hear it when I was playing it until like a minute and a half in, and I'm like, I hear music. I'm probably gonna get in fucking YouTube jail for this. Well, this one was just a warning, so I'm lucky, but.
A stern talking to, huh?
Yeah, they yanked you. This was a finger wag. Don't do it again.
The old Dikembe Mutombo, I got you.
No, do not do it again. No. So I just got a finger wag this time, so I'm okay with that. But I won't do it again. I think I know what I can and can't do. I've got it figured out. Because I did almost the same as I did Spawn, but a little different. And probably shouldn't have used the Fandango clips. But anyway.
So I have very little, if anything, to contribute to the Hackers discussion, but I will say Angelina Jolie looked fantastic in that movie.
Oh, my God. And that was a very early movie. You do know her and the star of that movie, the guy, Johnny Lee Miller. You know they got married 6 months after that movie. For 4 years, they stayed married. 4 years. Yes, they did.
I, for one, would never condone intermingling with coworkers, but, sometimes you got to do what you got to do.
You got to meet people somewhere.
Mm-hmm. Meet them in the middle.
Right. Well, something was in the middle. I don't know. It was said that they had another one of those.
Oh, yes. I'm going to start calling it Malcolm now. So you can put Malcolm in the middle.
Poor Malcolm. It was said she had another very odd wedding with him also. There was blood and stuff carved in her back and nothing we need to get into. I actually didn't even talk about it on the podcast. I didn't even want to get into it. But I did do Hackers last week, and I'm still not 100% sure if I'm doing Rounders this week or if I'm going to talk about Al Leong. You would know him if you saw him.
I didn't know if you were saying Al Leon or if you were just trying to put some stank on the word alien.
No, Al Leong, actually.
Oh, Al Leon. Oh, yeah.
You've seen Die Hard, right?
Yeah.
Okay, you know when they're doing all the shooting in the like relatively beginning of the movie, and the guy that steals the candy bar from the shelf, the bad guy. Okay, that's the same guy that is in Lethal Weapon torturing Mel Gibson, and in Last Action Hero for about 30 seconds gets blown up in a truck. This guy is a character actor and stuntman who we have seen in hundreds of movies. So I think I might talk about him instead. That sounds a little more interesting than Rounders. Rounders is just an excuse to let me talk about poker.
Well, there you go.
So I'll actually do some research and talk about an actor instead, more than likely. So anyway, SBC, my man, what's going on? You missed a great story about my.
You really did.
You missed a story about my balls. You'll hear it later. It's a true story. And when I told her that I'd been dealing with it since June, I thought she was going to fall over. She was like, "Oh my God." I mean, that
is always so good for the ego. Like when you go to a doctor's office and they're like, "Why did you wait so long?"
I know, because I'm fucking tough, bitch. You want some of this?
Apparently she did, or at least had to, for work-related purposes.
No, it wasn't her. It was her two. Get this. It was not only a nurse that did it, which the nurse was a cute little Asian girl. Her student. Do you mind if my student does this for a while? No. No, let's menage a trois up here in the hospital. Okay. Thank God my wife's out there. Nah, she knew. I was joking with her about it that night too. But yeah, that was exactly how it went. The little Asian girl started, and then the other little brunette girl decided to jump on in and do a little ultrasounding herself on the affected area, if you will. Mm-hmm.
I see. Very good. Very good.
So I had like I said, I had a very interesting Monday and afternoon, but it's definitely getting better. Like I said, I'm still hurting, but it's definitely getting better because I mean the pain was going up in my back, up in my chest, in my jaw, because it was on a nerve.
Actually, you know what? When I was, let's say 11, right now 12. When I was 12. I had what was essentially it was a little bit more, it was a different term, but there's no need to get super medical. That was about the opposite of what it was that happened to you. That was literally one of the worst experiences of my life because think about this. I'm 12 years old. We've been over this before. I grew up in a single-parent household raised by my mother. I had to go into my mother's room and tell her that is the most uncomfortable fucking burden you could have on your shoulders. And then we went to the doctor, and it was just a straight-up old man. There was no nurses. There was no fun. It was just a matter of where does it hurt, and then he felt around, and then I felt ashamed and betrayed and sad. And it did hurt like a motherfucker.
Violated.
Mm-hmm.
I got kicked so bad in my nuts in the 7th grade that I ended up in the hospital again. I thought he fucking broke one.
I had somebody do that to me once just because they asked me if they could do it, and she was cute, and I was going to see if anything fun could jump off, and at first it started just kind of a nudge with the foot, and then full on, she kicked it a little harder, and then next thing I know, she pulled back and fucking Pele'd, and I said, alright, that's enough.
Well, when I was in 7th grade, I ended up at a private school in North Carolina called Durham Academy, and they found out I was Jewish, and it was fucking like the movie School Ties. Fucking, they beat me. It was pretty much right after that I started taking martial arts.
I was trying so hard not to make an inappropriate joke because I'm going to be like, and they said me too. Because you said private academy, I was picturing just everybody there having money.
Some did, some didn't. Actually, you know who I went? You know who I went to school with and rode horses with? Ward Horton, Annabelle, the star of the movie Annabelle.
Yeah.
I went to school with Ward Horton. He was in there. He was also in Wolf of Wall Street.
Yeah,
He had
very
a small
cool.
part in that movie too. But I went to school with that guy. Rode horses with him. Him and my sister. He hung out at my house a few times, many times actually. We used to go smoke in the back of the barns. Smoke cigarettes when we were like 12 years old, like you were saying. So that's kind of the way it went, man. But actually, Dirk, he didn't kick me. He kneed me. If you were asking me, kneed me in the balls. I wish almost it might not have hurt if he kicked me, but slammed a knee right up in there. And that wasn't the first time. That was just the only time I ended up in the hospital for that. But that turned out to be one of the worst years of my life. So, and my son is going through a pretty rough seventh grade year right now. So I was talking to him about it the other day, which is why it was on my mind. So
It is weird how that works, because, like, most people tend to believe that, like, middle school, they would say it was, like, their worst time as a child. But for me, middle school was the shit. Like, I loved middle. 8th grade was phenomenal. High school was god fucking awful. But middle school, thumbs up, great.
see, my high school was better because I was partying a lot with a lot of people, and it was a different thing. So that was easier for me. High school was. So, but yeah, 7th and 8th grade are probably the worst years for me because I went back. The private school kids called me a piece of shit public school kid, and then I got back to public school and like no one remembered me, so I was the fucking preppy ass private school kid. So you can't, I couldn't fucking win. Plus I was me. Just skinnier and more awkward than I am now. I'm not going to say I was awkward. I'm more awkward than now. More twitchy.
Yeah, it happens.
Probably more Jeff Goldblum than I am now.
I was way meaner.
Where the hell I left my glasses? I'm fucking blind. Anyway, I think I left them in the other room. I did. Oh well, I'll make do. I'll make do, sir. So yeah, that's a lot of probably more information than we should have given in the beginning of the show. But anyway, I just thought I would tell everyone the story of my scrotum. A scrotum.
Gather around for this story time with Boxman.
A scrotum story with Boxman.
Not the ill-fated sequel to A Christmas Story.
There you go. Yes. A scrotum story for the holidays. A summer scrotum story. I like that.
My most favorite Shakespeare play.
Oh, God. Well, I guess we're naming the show something with a scrotum in it. Anyhow.
I feel like a scrotum story is perfect.
Perfect. I like it. 20 minutes in and we got a name for the show already. That's fucking perfect. But, my wife was happy I went, so that's all that matters, I think, right?
Yeah.
She was pretty worried about me, so there you go. All right. I guess somehow we transition to wrestling. Actually, I'm trying to think if I have any stories that even go with that. Huh. Well, Smark, you actually sent me one story that goes with ball breaking, kind of.
Yeah.
No?
Well, I mean, there's two that could potentially work.
Pick
but,
one. You can start tonight. We've only got like 5 stories, so it's not a big deal.
Yeah, let's do it. There is news. There is an update in the old never-ending scrotum story of the Velveteen Dream. Speaking of scrotums, nothing filming this time, but battery and trespassing charges against Patrick Clark may have been dropped. This is from F4W Online, the old Observer.
Mm-hmm.
Clark was arrested on August 20th after allegedly punching an employee of the Club Orlando Fitness Center. He was scheduled to appear in court on September 28th, but according to a report from BW Insider, so again, they just stole something BW Insider did, and then I stole their story. So this is like just thief inception. Court records indicate the date has been canceled. No other court date for the case is listed, which could mean the charges have been. According to police documents obtained by TMZ, Clark became, quote, irate and argumentative with the gym employee after he was asked to leave an area of the fitness center that was closed for cleaning. Clark is also alleged to have made death threats towards the employee and punching him in the face. A fight between Clark and the employee ensued, and Clark is alleged to have bitten the employee. What is with people fucking biting these days? During the melee, police observed a bite mark on the employee's chest.
Yeah, I don't know. The clerk, or the employee, excuse me for calling him a clerk, I don't know why I just said that. The employee of the gym, are you asking what made, it doesn't say in here, does it? What made him fight the guy? The guy told him to leave so they could clean.
No, not what made him fight the guy. I was asking, what is with people fucking biting people?
I don't know. I don't know, dude. People have turned into fucking animals lately, literally.
He ace-stealed the man.
Yeah. Yeah.
I mean, that's not how you get into. That's not how you get a job with AEW.
No, it's not. But there's a couple things in this story I don't see. I don't see where he's been released. Number one. That's not in here. Records would show that if they were dropped. Now, the court date being put back doesn't mean the case was dropped. That could also mean they got more evidence. That could also mean they're changing their charge. That could mean about 10 different things. And again, one more time, I don't see where it says he's been released yet. And he was still in jail last I remember. But I don't see the word released on here at all. So, I don't know, man. There could be many, many reasons why this was pushed back. The guy did violate probation. That is not going to get dropped. I can tell you that right now. The charges against the guy at the gym may drop charges, but he violated probation, which means those drug charges where he, snorted the coke in front of the cop, those don't go away. They don't get snorted up his nose and go bye-bye. No. No. So he still has something to deal with no matter what. And they may not trust him to get out right now because he already violated probation once.
Right.
So there's that. I don't know. I mean, I don't know. I mean, nowhere in here does it say that. It says charges may have been dropped, but no one knows. Court records just show that one date's been canceled. Let's not fucking be too optimistic about this, I would say.
It's a little bit on the flimsy reporting side when the first sentence is may have been dropped.
Yeah.
Like, we can't confirm shit, but there's a potential that it got dropped. Who knows? Stay tuned.
They may have been dropped. They also might not have been dropped, which is what this article is saying. I'm not saying it's not. I mean, imagine a wrestling journalist not researching and doing his job thoroughly, Smark. I don't understand what you're talking about.
Well, that's the funny thing is that they took their report from PW Insider. So PW Insider confirmed it. They didn't confirm it, but everybody's just going to report it, including me.
Well, there's a lot of mays in here, like I said, there's a lot of may have, might be, could mean.
A wise man once said, it's all about the he said, she said bullshit.
That's right. Some man did say that. But yeah.
Oh, as a quick backdoor to that, I actually didn't intend on bringing this up, but I did watch the Woodstock 99 documentary on Netflix the other day.
Really?
And I have to ask, knowing what you know, because I've seen every documentary, the HBO documentary, Netflix documentary, various documentaries put together by nobody who's on YouTube. I've seen all of those about Woodstock 99. Knowing what we know, would you have gone?
The lineup was good. Yeah, I probably... 99, because, 94 got pretty fucked up, too.
Well, 94, there was just a shit ton of mud. which was like a disaster. But
there
not
was
as
mud
severely.
because they broke the fountains, the water fountains, and at that one.
Well, it rained a lot at 94.
And then they broke the water fountains.
Well, they broke the water fountains in 99.
Oh, that was not 99. They burnt the fucking place down.
Well, yeah, it's true, but they also broke the water fountains because they were charging them like $4 or $5 for a bottle of water and all that shit.
Yeah, and I mean, thank you. I believe it was Red Hot Chili Peppers for passing out candles.
Oh, they were trying to. It was the
Kumbaya
organizer.
Moment.
The organizer was trying to. They were going to try to do a candlelight vigil because that was a couple of months after Columbine had happened.
Right.
So they were going to do a candlelight vigil, and this was on Sunday. This was after like they pretty much ran out of food and water, and they're making people like basically swim and shower in their own feces. So everybody was having a real fun time with that, and they gave them candles, and then they started like setting mini fires, and then the organizer asked Anthony Kiedis if he could talk to him, and he said no, they wouldn't listen to him. And then the next set, the song that they opened up their encore with was "Fire" by Jimi Hendrix. And fire, they wanted, fire, they got. It was a fun song.
And before you knew it, the stage was on fire. You know, I probably would have gone to 99 just to see. Yeah, all right, maybe people got out of their system. But the problem is, you can't recreate what happened at the original Woodstock. You're never going to recreate it. I know everybody wants to. It's not going to happen. People aren't the same. Teenagers aren't the same. Middle-aged 20s kids aren't the same anymore. And let's face it, this wasn't the same music. This wasn't, Hendrix. This was fucking like Korn and fucking, Chili Peppers and fucking, all kinds of, I mean, in 94, Fred Durst played break stuff, and his words before the song were, "There's no rules when this song is on." So they fucking decided to, guess what? Break stuff. Yeah, they broke. Yeah. Break your fucking face tonight. You're lucky they didn't do that, Fred. But
I just feel so bad for everyone, because the security guards were literally, they didn't want any actual authoritative security guards, so they just hired random college kids because they didn't want guns and batons and all that kind of shit, because it was supposed to be a peaceful thing. So they just hired a bunch of college kids. And them trying to keep the peace when everybody's right about to riot, it's well, who we got coming up next? It's Rage Against the Machine. It's oh, fucking hell. This isn't going to get any better for anyone. Let's just leave.
Rage Against the Machine's coming up. Why don't you bring in some more cops?
Yeah, we probably should have.
Let's call in the National Guard, see how that works. Huh? Yeah.
And they ultimately ended up doing so at the very end. That was a Sunday night thing.
I'm sorry, you can't recreate the magic that was back then. The bands back, I mean, Joe Cocker, Jimi Hendrix, fucking anybody that was fucking, I mean, Bob Dylan, just the greatness of the bands. And let's face it, when you've got violent music, you're going to get violent people.
Yeah. Well, I mean, not only that, but like we said, they literally charge people $4 for a bottle of water. Yeah. You're looking at food being $8 to $10. This is 1999. These are prices that are kind of acceptable now, over 20 years later. But this was 1999.
People have been bitching about that at concerts for how long?
Oh, almost since concerts started, essentially.
Pretty much. Oh, concerts are expensive. This is expensive. That's expensive. It's nothing new. It's just something we all like to bitch about, and makes a good excuse every now and then, I guess. So
true.
Yeah, I probably would have ran out there just to see what it looked like, seeing how it was and everything.
I for sure would have gone. I mean, not as a 9-year-old, but I'm talking about today. If you count, knowing everything I know, if you give me a time machine, you want to go to Woodstock? Fuck yeah, absolutely. I want to go see some shit get set on fire.
I'd go see that shit. And
you get a Riot and a DMX concert. You really can't beat that deal.
No, and knowing what I know now, I would know where to stand.
Mm-hmm. Next to your fire, of course.
Let me stand next to your fire. Exactly. Let me stand. Oh, shit. Wow. We've gone far out of whack here tonight. Boy, I mean, you would think Patrick Clark was at Woodstock 99.
There you go.
Put that down. We need to clean here. Fuck you.
I can't imagine going to a gym and then you just like look over and like Velveteen Dream's there doing the fucking tricep pull down.
Dude, I can't imagine biting anyone during a fucking scuffle unless you've got me down on the fucking ground and it's the only thing I can do.
I can't imagine biting anyone ever. Like, just I've been in fights before, and that thought has never come into my mind.
I mean, we got Kenny Omega doing fucking, interviews with bite marks on his arm and shit. And Ace Steel biting people, and Patrick Clark biting people, and taking videos of people pissing.
He's living the life.
Which he denies. I know, he's out there fighting, taking pissing pictures and videos, and asking what school people go to. Anyway, we'll see what happens with Patrick Clark, but I have a gut feeling nothing's been dropped. I think we're going to see, if anything's going to drop, I think it's another shoe. How's that? If you know what, you think y'all know what I mean by that.
Mm-hmm.
I think another shoe's going to fucking drop.
I'll give you a shot there.
I told you I haven't drank since Sunday. Let me take another. Cheers.
I'll lay out for that one. Create some dead air while you take yourself to sleep.
No, you just like no-selling my bad jokes. Should at least try.
Oh, yes, I'm doing it on purpose at this point. I just want you to know.
Oh, I know.
I do it worse to cheese because sometimes I'll just not say anything when I'm on the cheese. And then it'll just be full-on fucking dead air. And I'm doing it on purpose. And I've told him so.
And he still does it. Oh, well, I do it too. It's fun. It is. It's fun. So, anyway, I guess we get back to some wrestling here.
Yeah.
I guess a little bit of it at least. Like I said, we don't have that much to get into. We got a little bit of stuff, but I guess one thing we can get into is Malakai Black made a kind of lengthy statement. I don't know if you saw this, Mark. But it was all on why he left and all that right there. And, well, how long would this take me to read? Probably not that long. All right, let me slide it over here so I'm looking more in the camera than anything else. So, okay. He says, all. That's what he started with. All. Firstly, thank you all for your messages. Know that they are being read and appreciated. With all the turmoil going on in the landscape of professional wrestling, I took the time to think of my work, but also needed to wait until conversations between mine and AEW's camp had come to a conclusion. Firstly, I dislike reading parts of my private conversations between myself and AEW in regards to my mental well-being on the internet. These conversations were private and not meant to be shared with the public. As by now most people realize, I am a very private person and do not feel the need to have stuff like this out on the internet. If you've been following me longer than a cup of coffee, you're aware that I've spoken about them prior, but would like to be the one deciding when it finds its way to the public and not through someone else's mouth. As with anything through the lips of someone else, that story gets distorted. Secondly, to be in line with the above, they also need context. Okay. Only a few more lines, people. Well, paragraphs. I did indeed ask for my release. The last 2 years of my life have lended to a lot of setbacks. Both me and my wife have been affected by uncontrollable actions from the outside that resulted in loss of life, medical setbacks, career jeopardizing, the suicide of a close friend and close family member, oh God, almost losing their life, then experiencing an injury that I was sure was the end of my career. I spend every week going through several sessions of rehab, dry needling, I don't even know what that is, and therapy just to be able to walk and compete. Now, this being the tip of the iceberg, and with the combination of the promises in my professional field that were not upheld, with which resulted as a combination of all these to a complete demoralization of life and career. This decision had been in my mind for the past 6 months. It's hard to really put a finger and say this was the moment it all went wrong, but I can tell you, Vu. What? No. Okay. It says Vu. It says VOU. But I can tell you, after many years, that I have learned from a rational point of view to see when I need to hit the brakes. Hit the brakes. Hit the brakes? Goddamn Dutch motherfuckers. Which is what this is.
I do like the idea that he types in his accent. I can tell you everything, Judy.
Thing is, he has no accent when he talks, the fuck.
Yeah, I know.
Perhaps once my mind settles on things and processes the last 2 years a bit better, I will convey via a different platform than written out what the exacts were that happened and have a more informed conversation about them. For now, know that I am good. I am taking, for the first time in 22 years, a few months to recalibrate the last 2 decades of my life. All right, lastly, I have read a few narratives online in regards to my release, which he put in quotes, mental health and my personal life that I can summarize swiftly. If it didn't come from me, it didn't happen. Stuff about conditional releases, stuff in my marriage, or using said mental health to leverage the other, when, as I said before, that part wasn't even going to be public conversation, are false. My marriage is fine. I am fine. It is just time to make sure those things stay that way. Once again, I appreciate your support, and we will see each other soon enough. Now, with all that blabbed out there, Smark, people are immediately saying, well, he said he didn't want this leaked. The Bucks probably leaked this too. Because the Bucks just leak everything to Meltzer. It's always the Bucks, Smark.
Always.
The Bucks did it. The Bucks did it. So, I'm not sure if that's true, first of all. He says this is a decision he's had to make that he's been on for the past 6 months. I don't really feel... I mean, if the Bucks did leak this, that's fine, but... it's not fine. It's fucked up if they did, but I don't think they did.
Whoever leaked it sucks.
Absolutely. But I mean, this happened, just a couple of weeks ago, and, shit's going on in that company. Okay, there's crazy shit going on in that company anyway, Smark. Obviously, we've talked about it a few times, obviously. But, I mean, there's fights going on now. There's this going on. There's that going on. Every time you turn around, someone's, this person asked for their release. And, Thunder Rosa, supposedly, she said no. I don't know why, but suddenly everyone wants to focus on AEW. Like I said, a couple weeks ago, are they like the new Donald Trump of wrestling? Is everything just about AEW at this point now?
I mean, like, floodgates have opened up. Because that was part of what Punk was saying. One of the reasons why he joined the company was the discretion that they had when dealing with the Brody Lee situation.
Right.
Was, that there wasn't, nothing got leaked. Everybody kept their mouth shut. And, now, I know that's a different situation, but, now the dam has burst. Now everybody's talking about everybody else's business, and all the information is getting out there, and some of it is just flat out being made up as well. So it's just it's open season at this point.
Yeah, kind of what it seems like. But there was a little picture of Punk and Malakai Black. Kind of looks like they're training in the octagon.
It looks like a picture of if you're playing a UFC video game and you just started your career, this is who your created fighter goes up against before they can make it to the big show.
This looks like two dads' first day at MMA training.
Mm-hmm. Fucking Tito Ortiz's fantasy MMA summer camp.
And Punk has his exploded ear. You can see it folded over the left ear. His left ear is folded over because it exploded by a punch. Malakai Black's ears are perfect. Just want everyone to notice the difference.
Mm-hmm.
Can't see
I've
him.
long said that. He has perfect ears, said Malakai.
See? Perfect fucking ears, man. Perfect fucking ears. Anyway. That was that picture there. I forgot I had it actually while I was reading that article. Didn't think I was going to read so goddamn much. But, I mean, even you were saying, yeah, I mean, whoever leaked that definitely the piece of shit, but I just feel like lately it's like AEW is like the fucking beaten stepchild. They're just like, all the attention is on every little thing. Yes, there was a very public thing that CM Punk did, which I still say shouldn't have been public, and to the fucking guy that commented on that video that I blamed Punk. Tell me you didn't listen to the show without telling me you didn't listen to the fucking show.
Mm-hmm.
I did not blame Punk. My God. I didn't blame Punk. Guy's over there sucking the fuck. Calls me a fucking a snowflake. And he starts off the fucking conversation with, "You're an ass." I'm the snowflake? You triggered little bitch. Okay. Yeah, triggered little bitch. Maybe the Bucks the Bucks are out. Maybe Punk will fucking give you a hug if you see him. He'll probably kick your fucking ass. Tell him don't.
Well, just don't interrupt him while he's eating his muffin. He wants his muffin. He loves his muffin.
I mean, I get it. I was freshly baked.
I'm so disappointed that I didn't see this opportunity sooner, because it was on an episode of Botchamania. They did the whole. You remember the scene from Half Baked where Scarface quits his job? Mm-hmm. He does the whole "fuck you, fuck you, fuck you, you're cool." Mm-hmm. They did that with Punk, and then when for the "you're cool" part, they put a picture of like Adam Cole smiling, giving him thumbs up. I was like, how did I not think of that? That was a fucking missed opportunity.
You're cool.
He's just like, fuck all you motherfuckers. You're a bunch of fucking idiots. I hate everyone I work with. Adam Cole's a great kid. Bucks couldn't run a target. It's like, wow, what did Adam Cole do to avoid your wrath?
And by the way, in all fairness, I don't think Punk could run a fucking target either. I really just want to put that out there. I really do.
I mean, yeah, managers are not really allowed to like openly bitch about all their other employees.
No, so, I don't think Punk could run a fucking Walmart. How's that?
I'd like to see it. That should be like they should reach out to AEW about like a promotional opportunity, like CM Punk runs a Target somewhere.
See him work a real job for a little while.
Mm-hmm.
Really be the voice of the voiceless. Be a greeter at Walmart for a couple days.
You walk into Walmart and he's just sitting there fucking cross-legged.
Oh, you can't sit and be a greeter at Walmart. Fuck that.
You got to get him at Aldi then. You can sit down at Aldi.
Oh, well, they don't greet you at Aldi's.
No, they don't.
No, you go in a whole different section from the cashier. They don't even want to fucking see you when you walk into Aldi. You're in a different section. They have food and shelves blocking you. You pay that quarter, get your fucking cart, and you fucking go in. Don't talk to us until you get up here. You got your fucking bags, mister? Huh? Oh, no. No. You're not getting your shit ready.
Go to our fucking automated like cashier stuff. No, they had it figured out.
You know what?
They make you be the cart boy. They make you be the fucking bagger. They make you be everything.
Well, not only do
they're ashamed of their customer base.
Not only do they make you bag smart, they won't even let you bag there. You got to take your shit and go over to the fucking counter.
Mm-hmm. Move. You go to the corner and you bag your fucking zucchini, you freak.
Yeah, take your zucchini in the corner and do what you're gonna do with it.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, bag that bitch. Bag that motherfucker. Bag it. Anyway. Yeah, fuck Aldi. I used to like that place.
I still do. Most part.
My wife will go there. I don't go there anymore. But I'll go to the fucking dollar store. I do love me the dollar store. I do love that shit.
I don't like the dollar store.
That's where I go get office supplies because they get stolen. So I go to the dollar store. I pay $1 for 8 pens, and when they get stolen, I am not upset one bit.
There you go.
Yeah. That's what I do. So, I don't know. I don't know if pens will get stolen at this job. I've only been there 2 weeks, so I still have all my pens.
Nice.
But they might be taking it easy on me because I'm the new guy. Don't take his pens yet.
Well, you mentioned like working for your parents. That'd be pretty fucked up if they were stealing your pens.
Well, no, I work for the company my dad is VP for.
Ah, I see.
Yeah, right now I do. It's not like I work for them. I actually work for a very, 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 very rich couple who owns that company, a Korean couple.
You got a real thing for Asian people today.
I don't know, but they're very nice and generous and gave me a job. And
I hear their daughter is a nurse.
No, they're both doctors, though.
See, what I did there is I brought it all back.
I know. I got you. I see what you did there. Where are we going from here?
Where are we going?
I don't know. This Malakai Black thing's just kind of driving me nuts at this point. We obviously are done talking about it because we keep going off track. Go ahead.
It's just really hard for me to feel sympathy for somebody who has a fuck ton of money and an amazingly attractive wife. I'm sorry. Everybody gets sad. You gotta move on, my man.
Yeah, but now she's working.
That's even better.
She's working.
He gets the house to himself too. Like, what else does he want?
He's got the House of Black to himself.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, he's like sliding down the hallway wearing fucking black underwear instead of tighty whities. Oh, it's raining blood instead of like old fashioned rock and roll. Yeah, it's that shit. Yeah.
They're playing It's Raining Blood instead of It's Raining Men.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know either. Okay. All right, either you can read one or I can play the MJF audio.
Well, let's do one more here for me, and I have another one that ties into AEW.
Yeah, you do.
Anyways, not AEW, WWE. This one. As WWE continues to talk about their next big rights deal for Raw and SmackDown, another deal is more imminent. Dun dun dun. All WWE content on Hulu will be pulled on Saturday, September 25th. Problem with that is that the 25th is a Sunday. So not only can they not proofread the articles, they don't know what day it is. They can't read a calendar either.
Damn, they're
so Saturday the 24th, as their deal for the next day rights for Raw and SmackDown is set to expire. That's when it's actually happening, the 24th. That content includes episodes of Raw, SmackDown, NXT, Main Event, Total Divas, Total Bellas, and more. Ms. and Mrs. as well. Currently, nearly all WWE content on Hulu has an Expire Saturday flag. PW Insider's Mike Johnson said talks are still ongoing as they are attempting to negotiate a new deal. Hulu, approximately 46 million subscribers, not that anybody really needed to know that, is primarily owned by Disney, 67% of which, with NBC Universal owning the remaining stake. Both Disney and NBC Universal are partners with WWE to varying degrees, while Hulu and WWE have been partners for 10 years. On past investors' calls, WWE's CEO Nick Khan has spoken about several intriguing aspects of the company's rights, one of which is the second-day rights for Raw and SmackDown. Based on industry trends, he expects multiple bidders for WWE content in the years ahead as streaming services get more involved in the mix.
I did obviously read about this too, and now I will say, about 3 months ago, I got nervous because NYPD Blue was set to expire, and not only was I freaking out, but the NYPD Blue group was having a little heart attack. It didn't go off. It didn't come off. It's still there. And it's not unexpired anymore. So they can do this to TV shows sometimes, and just, it may not. You just got to wait it out and see. That's it. That's all you can really do.
Right.
For some reason, this reminds me of when the cable companies would start fighting with the TV networks, and they would drop the network for like a week
Yeah, and they'd have like the little like white text running on the top or the bottom of like, please, if you want to keep Comedy Central on Comcast cable, call this number. Blah blah blah.
Yeah, I don't think I ever called. Did you ever call?
Yeah, I never.
No, I never cared. I was like, whatever, dude. I'll find a way to watch it. Fuck you.
Mm-hmm.
You can find a way to watch any goddamn thing I want at this point. But Hulu's just weird like that. All these streaming services are a little weird. They can pull you for whatever. And, shit'll be up there one day, gone the next. But
it is sort of interesting, though, because I checked before we started the show to make sure this was still accurate. And as of about 10, 15 or so today, it still is. All their shit still has expired tags coming up Saturday. But what's interesting about that is, like, that's, for a lot of people, their primary, like, source to watch Raw and SmackDown. Like, when we would review Raw and SmackDown, I would watch it off of Hulu, and I believe you would, too. So it's, like, it's kind of interesting. Like, if they end up not getting something done and they end up not having Raw or SmackDown on Hulu for a little while, that'll be kind of interesting.
Yeah, and, I mean, even the hour and a half version was getting tough to watch for a while there.
Oh yeah, that was the best part, was that it was a condensed version, which was still tough sometimes.
Hour and a half, no commercials. And they really all they skipped was a lot of backstage segments and a match here and there, but you pretty much got the meat of the show.
Yeah, definitely.
I always thought. So, yeah, I mean, look, it would be a shame, you're right, because it is a lot of people's kind of primary. And, I mean, look, it would suck just at all, because, I mean, it's on demand. You didn't want, not everyone can be home to watch live. People have fucking jobs. People are fucking bartenders, waiters, waitresses, strippers.
Mm-hmm. They're working at fitness centers and getting punched by Velveteen Dream.
Running a Target.
Mm-hmm.
They can't always be there Mondays to do that. So, I mean, some people are, on the phone with Meltzer. They just can't be there. Got a good one for you, Davey. Come on out to Rancho Cucamonga, we'll tell you.
I just picture like the Bucks wearing their like wing pants, but then also wearing like a trench coat and like a spy hat.
Speaking of trench coat, what the fuck was one of the fucking Gunn brothers tonight doing in like a pea coat?
It was interesting. It was an interesting choice. And
he had no shirt on and a pea coat. I think he forgot something. Like his fucking brain or something. I don't know. I thought I'd ask that question. There you go. See, Dirk said he gets pens, staples, paper clips, and they're always stolen. Christopher Kane!
I thought Dirk was saying that he had a pea coat. I could picture Dirk rocking a pea coat.
Could you?
It's a dapper lad.
So. If you say so. All right, so I don't know, man. I just like I said, it could be so many things that the reason is that, and it could be right back up by. It may even go down for a couple of days and then pop right back up. You don't know. These deals take a while, but I wouldn't start. I wouldn't start freaking out. I wouldn't start downloading my torrents yet. Is what I'm saying. I mean, I might, but you don't have to.
Oh, there you go. Yeah.
Calm down.
Speaking of not having to steal shit, I actually have Peacock now, so that's fun. I was actually watching like ECW the legal way, which is far less fun because you don't get the music. But
yeah, and I know they changed all the music. Sandman comes down to Mr. Sandman.
That would actually be kind of cool.
Mr. Sandman. Bring me a dream. Good song. Was in Crybaby. Great song. Great movie.
Well, most famously, of course, Halloween. It was in Halloween.
Was it?
Yes. It's the opening credit song at the beginning of the movie. The very first one.
Wow. Oh. Hopefully the antibiotic's going to kick this cough out of me, too, because I've had that for like 3 weeks. Pretty much I'm falling apart at my age.
I'm kind of all right now. I just had some allergies.
Well, good. I'm glad.
See, Dirk says I used to have a pea coat. I told you.
No. Not a master pea coat.
Okay, don't be racist. Come on now.
I didn't think that was it?
Probably not, but I still like to try to, throw you in front of the bus at all opportunities.
I guess it could have been.
You hear a record skip, and then everybody just turns around and looks at you, and I just sort of sidestep away.
All I can say that joke, and all you get is Tony Khan going, "What the fuck? Who heard that? Oh shit! Oh, Tony, who heard that?" Okay. Okay. Anyway, don't get your peacoats in a bunch yet, folks. I think they'll be okay on Hulu, is what I'm saying.
Yeah, probably.
Probably. WWE knows how to work deals. You know what? They may be holding out to see if they can get more money. Hulu might be holding out to see if they can get more money. It's a fucking game, dude. It's a game of who's going to take the lower deal. That's what it is. That's what fucking every deal ends up being in the long run. Who's willing to fucking sacrifice what? There's never a real win-win. That's bullshit. Win-win is bullshit. So, anyway. All right. I think we're good on that. Since I just mentioned Tony Khan, I guess we can go ahead and get into that real quick. There you go, old Tony Khan. Once again, Tony Khan not happy with WWE. Hold on, let me put a real pic of the guy up there for you. I'm sorry. Not happy with WWE. He was doing the media rounds again this week, kind of pumping up Grand Slam, which we saw tonight. Great fucking show, man. Great fucking show, I thought. And of course, as he has to do, he takes a shot at WWE. I don't know. He's really got to stop doing this shit. I think it's really getting old to me. But anyway, he was speaking to News 12, and he was answering a question about running New York events this month, in addition to all the other shows he's doing. And he said, we're running a lot of great shows around the Northeast. It's so many great wrestling markets in one geographic region. I'll say it. The crown jewel of wrestling markets. The real crown jewel of wrestling markets. Not some BS overseas in Saudi Arabia. The real crown jewel, New York City, is where you want to be. Okay. If you really read what he said, you could literally make that into a fucking commercial.
Oh, you absolutely.
The crown jewel, New York City, is where you want to be. I mean, listen, New York has always been well known for being the old melting pot, one of the greatest places. I personally don't like it, but I'm not a big city kind of guy. So that's just different. I don't personally like big city New York. That's just me. I know this country in New York, I might like that. Who knows? Why?
Oh, I am a Chicago, so I do not really care for New York for obvious reasons.
Well, that's a whole different story. I've been to New York. I've been right in Manhattan. I've stood in the center of Madison Square Garden. So, I've been there. Been there a few times. But, first of all, there was no question about WWE. Once again, these guys answer questions that aren't fucking asked of them and make fools of themselves. I really... Listen, I'm not saying I don't agree with Tony. I don't think WWE needs to go over to Saudi Arabia 2-3 times a year, whatever they do. I don't think they do. But I also don't think that he needs to keep bringing up WWE when he's not asked. Answer what the fuck you're asked. Nothing more, nothing less. That's it. I hate this. You can shit on John Cena all you want for being a fucking, one-trick pony, this or that. But you know what he did? He always kept his answers short. He kept them sweet. He only answered what he was asked, never anything more. He kind of had that. It's like he went to Vince McMahon class of answering and, you know, how to keep that WWE corporate ladder, you know, standing. Tony needs to fucking listen to someone. You weren't asked about WWE. Don't sound like a fucking petulant a child with an agenda and bring him up. That's all I'm saying.
Especially not right now, because for the most part, I think it's all kind of just good natured and part of the ribbing and the war that they have going. Air quotes on that, but right now, after how disastrous that fucking media scrum was, and how just amateur bush league he's looking with his ownership skills at the moment. Like, don't add extra flames to the fire. Just don't.
Listen, I've said this a fucking 100 times, and you know I know you've pretty much agreed with me. The guy needs to shut the fuck up. Stop doing all these fucking news conferences. You know who you need to let do these fucking news conferences? Your talent. You know why? They're talent. You know what they are? Talented. You know what they know how to do? Sell matches. You know what their job is? To sell the match. You know how they can do that? Send them these fucking news conferences. I'm sorry. Is it that fucking simple?
I do kind of feel bad for Tony Khan in that regard, though, because, like, who do you have to promote your shows? Because, like, Moxley's kind of fucking nuts. And then, like, Bryan Danielson's out here talking about faking his own death. So, like, I don't know if you want him promoting your shows. Like, I guess you just have to get, like, Regal out there or Shivani or something.
First of all, you could have Regal, Shivani. I'm telling you now, you could have fucking Hangman Adam Page out there. He's a country boy, but I guarantee he ain't going to say nothing fucking wrong. Cole can probably toe that line. I believe O'Reilly could probably be a good guy to go out there. No, he's not the most charismatic, but he's young. People seem to fucking like him, and the younger people especially seem to like him. So I think he's got plenty of guys to put out there. Danhausen. Throw joking Danhausen out there on a fucking news conference to piss off the reporters. That's what I'd fucking do.
He has kind of been making the rounds, I guess. Because he was on an episode of Hot Ones not too long ago, and I think that was part of, I don't know if he was promoting the New York shows, but there have been a couple of little like media appearances here and there from some of the AEW talent, like just before the show tonight.
Yeah, it's just so fucking, I don't know. To me, it's very frustrating that, like, almost every week we have to sit here and tell Tony Khan to shut his fucking mouth and fucking run his company. I need to just stop saying it because it's just getting fucking old at this point. But
I do think they sort of need a Miz, though. Of just somebody who is just their sort of appointed, anointed guy that they send out there to do all the media shit.
Sting.
So that's what Miz is there for WWE, and it works out great for him.
You're right, Miz. You're right, and I always said in that way, I always felt Miz was a workhorse for that company. He kind of was there when Cena left. He was kind of their second in charge, their second in command when Cena left for doing media. That's why I always said he's a fucking workhorse for WWE. I never meant in-ring workhorse. I always meant actual physical workhorse. The guy has a great work ethic, and he doesn't say anything wrong either. Even though he's a fucking nutbag himself. I mean, you could throw Sting out there. Sting is a great ambassador for that fucking company. And he's not going to say anything wrong. I mean, it's just, I think he should be letting his wrestlers do this job. I think that's what their fucking job is, to go out there, sell your match, draw people in, bring people in. This is kind of what you hired these guys for. If Tony wants to be in the fucking limelight, fine. Fucking go on camera, piss everyone off, and then no one's going to fucking want you on the fucking show after a while anyway, because no one's going to care. But
right.
Stop. Close your mouth. Run your company. Do me a favor, Tony. Get a hold of your fucking company. Grab the fucking reins. Stop being a friend. Be a fucking boss. and stop the shit going on in your company. There you go. Sorry.
There it is. I can't follow that.
Look, I know Vince isn't a very light guy right now, but you know what? Most of the time, he shut his fucking mouth and ran his company. I know he was doing things all back, with whatever. Nothing to do with nothing. He shut up and ran his fucking company. And you know what? You got out of fucking line, you're gone. He would let you fucking go. He didn't care what an asset you were. He didn't care if you were in the middle of a fucking storyline. Stone Cold got up in the middle of it, got up and fucking walked out. Did fucking Vince beg him to come back? No, he didn't. And he shouldn't have. Tony needs some fucking lessons is all I'm saying.
Yeah. Couldn't hurt.
I need to quit bitching about it because it's getting old, and I know people are probably fucking sick of hearing it by now, and I apologize. Anywho. You got nothing on Tony Khan? You got a little? You want to bitch about it a little bit? It actually started pissing me off when I started thinking about it.
I'm just sitting here like everyone else is and enjoying the passion. I mean, you're right. Like I said, I don't think you should be out here like shit talking other companies right now when people are questioning your leadership abilities. Like that's probably not the way to go about righting the wrongs.
No, and Triple H right now, look, things are changing in WWE. Things are getting better, and Triple H is kind of the talk of the town right now, as he should be. Is Tony not getting enough attention? Is no one hugging him back? That's what it is. No one is hugging Tony backstage. Y'all, AEW, if anyone's listening, y'all walk up and give Tony the biggest hug tonight, right now. Rampage is probably still being taped. Go give that a group hug right now. Group hug for Tony Khan. Because he fucking needs it. That's it. He's not getting enough hugs. Not enough attention.
Just imagine how much money he's probably tried to shell out to get Bayley in the company. Like, I need those hugs, man.
You know how much money I would shell out to get Bayley in my company? If I had one?
Mm-hmm. I'm going to create a false company. I'm going to cook the books and try to get this going.
Jesus Christ. I fucking want to start an escort fucking service now.
That's why I shaved my head. I'm gonna see if I can get in touch with the Make-A-Wish people.
That's wrong. That's wrong. That actually,
by luck, I'll just end up having to fucking meet John Cena. That'll make me sad.
That actually made me think of something not good, but anyway. No, like, I don't know. A couple of weeks ago, I didn't know, but one of my old friends, I didn't even know, but he died of cancer. But anyway, July 20th it happened, man. No, this dude like lived with me. I've actually talked about him on the show. I've if you remember, I talked about my friend Jeff, the guy who constantly giving knuckles, always wanted a bite of my food. It was him, my buddy Jeff. Just got cancer. That was it. Sometimes that shit'll eat you up in weeks, man. But this dude lived with me. This dude worked with me. Crazy stuff, man. This kind of crazy.
Mm-hmm.
That's pretty crazy.
He's got to stop doing those media scrums. I guarantee you, by this time next year, he won't be doing those media scrums.
Dude, when you're looking like this, you need to stop doing
Full Gear will probably be the last one.
Let the talent do it. There's a reason they're called talent. There's a reason they're not, all in the back. Because some of them are paid to bring people in, do their job. But anyway, enough.
We're going to be talking about AEW shortly. But one of my favorite parts, and I've always said this about doing this show, is watching Christopher Cage watch a show. So I'm like, we're doing the show and I'm just reading the comment section here, and I just see Christopher Cage. Keith Lee got fatter. It's like, well, perhaps.
He's not lying. He did. He's not lying. He has. I think the same thing. He has. But, I mean, maybe it's muscle.
Well, it's how you got to start. You turn it into muscle. You build mass. Cultivate mass. That's what I'm doing.
Oh, yes.
Got a lot of cultivating going on.
You're cultivating. I get it. Cultivating is good. Oh, shit. All right. You know what? I got one little clip I'm going to play. It's only 55 seconds long. I could probably play it here. I don't think I'll get in trouble for playing it. I might. I think it's got sound. Let's do what we got to do here. Let's try this out.
If you're a WWE fan and there's a part of you that's like, this AEW thing's stupid. It's stupid. Again, what you're saying then is talent doesn't matter. Because if there's only one show in town, we're all, kind of screwed.
Right.
Yeah. If you're a WWE...
So there you go. Just a quick little clip. MJF saying basically, all right, the guy was asking him about the toxic wrestling community right now, almost like the tribalism. Basically you got the WWE fans and the AEW fans. We're all divided. It's like, it's like fucking, conservatives and liberals. Everyone's divided when we all should just be fucking enjoying wrestling. And that's what he's saying. If you're saying that AEW is stupid and horrible, it's the talent you don't like. Say that. Say it's the talent you don't like. Don't say it's the whole fucking company. But he's also saying one thing that we've all said the same thing. If it's one big conglomerate of a company, they're all screwed. Now, that being said, there's this deal, Smark. I don't know if you've heard of this deal that's being rumored of Warner and all the U.S., all these companies combining. USA
I think it's actually
and Warner
happening.
And all this shit.
I think that's not a rumor.
Oh, it's not. Oh, no. Well, that could be bad.
Meltzer was talking about it, and basically, it's like the way that the deals are structured and everything. It's going to be a while before any of that comes into play.
That could get bad, dude. I mean, that literally could jam them, just combine them all together, and that's like a wow monopoly.
I want to see.
Yeah, go ahead and see what you can find on it. Then we'll start. I mean, all we got left after this is AEW, I believe. Let me see. I believe. Yeah, that's it. That's all we got left after this is AEW. But basically, he's saying be thankful just for the fact that there's great wrestling out there right now. That there's more than one company. That you have an option. That people have an option. That you don't just have to sit there and wait every Monday, every Friday for WWE. You've got more fucking shows now. Just enjoy wrestling. That's what the sign. That's what the sign says all the time. Is what everyone keeps saying. Just enjoy it. I agree.
Okay, yeah, it's still potentially happening. Nothing's in concrete yet.
It's still a potential deal. Okay, good. I kind of thought it was.
Yeah.
So, all right. I think that's about. Smart. I'm looking. I think that's all we got for news and shit. I'm just getting rid of some of this stuff.
Oh.
Because
I have one more. I don't want to spoil anything for Christopher Kane, so maybe earmuffs for a second. But there was a big debut of sorts tonight of one, I believe Soraya is how they're pronouncing that, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yes. Well, in relation to that, we're going to lead into AEW. I feel like this story is a good companion piece. Xavier Woods set to appear on Celebrity Wheel of Fortune. This is from Fightful.com. See what I did there? WWE star Xavier Woods will appear on Celebrity Wheel of Fortune during the September 20th episode of WAD NXT. A commercial for the new season of Celebrity Wheel of Fortune played during the video. Woods can be seen as one of the contestants for the show, which will be hosted by Pat Sajak and Vanna White. Snoop Dogg also appeared. The season premiere will air on September 25th on NBC, or ABC rather. September 25th on ABC. It is currently unclear which episode Woods will appear in. But you want to see something fucking amazing here? I'm going to share my screen and let's see if this works. If it doesn't, I can send you the link. I'm going to share my screen. What we're going to do here, bang. If you can see it, Right here, related article, Soraya makes AEW debut 9/21.
Hold on. I can't even see it. Hold on. No, I can't see it.
Fucking A. Well, if you go, I'll post a link here in the old chat. But if you go to the article on Fightful, Xavier Woods set to appear on Wheel of Fortune, the related article is about Paige's debut, which is fucking hilarious. I don't know if they did that on purpose or if it was just a happy coincidence, but it's still funny.
Well, they could have been not related, but related. But well, forget it.
Oh, here it is. I had to click start sharing. That's how this thing works.
Ah, there you go. And it's right up here on the screen. It's a little bad, but I think you guys can probably see it. Ah, yes, I do see it now.
Gotta love it. Gotta love it.
That's perfect. Just perfect. I like you got us up on top there. It's nice. It's nice. All right. Little vapor in there. Take another swig of beer.
We stop sharing before anybody sees what my tabs are. All right, and done.
Perfect. That worked out well.
Never mind that you could rewind it and hit pause, but let's not do that. You don't need to be
there. You
getting
go.
Into business
and
like that.
By the way, she looked amazing.
She did.
Did she have some enhancements? Yes. Looks like she might have even had something done to her face, but I'll tell you what, she looks great. She looks amazing. She looks in the best shape of her life, and my God, she looks like she got fucking taller. But I think she looks great. I really do. I think you stopped sharing my screen, too. Did you?
Not intentionally, but it's possible. I can still see you.
Yeah, well, you can. I'm on camera. So that's good that you can see me. That makes sense that you can see me.
Suddenly this became part of like the Celebrity Wheel of Fortune sketch.
Yeah.
Or Jeopardy, Celebrity Jeopardy sketch, where it's fucking McDonald's sabotaging things.
Yeah, there you go. Now you should be able to see the screen again. But yeah, I thought she looked great. I really did. I thought she looked really good. I'm glad to see her in there. Making gestures like she's actually getting back in the ring. If you noticed, she wasn't making a gesture like she was there to manage anybody, was she?
It's hard to say. It's hard to say exactly what it was that happened there.
It looked to me like she was getting in the ring. She was pointing to all the girls. I mean, I guess she could be coming out there and managing Toni Storm and Athena, but do they need a manager?
Not really.
Toni Storm actually, I think, does very well.
I'm surprised that they don't let her talk, really. Her being Toni Storm, because, like, she can talk. I mean, she's not, I don't know if she's a great promo, but she's got a cool accent. That's worth something.
Or accents. Yeah, definitely. Maybe that's why, I don't know. Maybe Tony Khan has an accent thing. He sounds like a foreigner, you know? Okay,
he has like
Tony.
a problem with like Australia and New Zealand. That's where his bigotry lies.
Yeah, I'm just shrinking the screen down a little bit here. There we go. Because we are just about to talk about Grand Slams, Mark. I thought it was a really good show
says
tonight, man.
Athena can't cut a promo.
Who can't?
Athena is who he said.
I think I've never had a problem with Athena's promos.
No, like I guess devil's advocate. I can't think back to like what a memorable promo from her would have been, but I could never I've never heard her promo and be like, "Dear God, shut up," or like want to fall asleep and be like, "She needs work." Like, she's always been pretty like just decent.
Yeah, I mean, I guess kind of off the radar because really, yeah, you're right. I've never really thought about it, but no, she doesn't really. I can't think of a great Athena promo either, but I can't think of a really, like you said, I can't think of an awful one either. So,
because funny enough, it ended up getting pointed out during the segment, but I was listening to the Wheeler Yuta promo and I was like, oh boy, You still got a ways to go, my friend.
Well, he tried to keep up with MJF. That voice isn't going to keep up with MJF. It's just not. He sounded like, I mean, it sounded like a fucking, like a man talking to a child.
You know what it reminded me of? And, like, I'm not trying to compare him to him, but, like, just as an example of, like, the most textbook example of somebody just being outclassed on the microphone is, like, the Rock and Billy Gunn segment. Where, like, The Rock just comes out, just completely obliterates him, and Billy Gunn's just, like, there in the ring, and there's not much you can do about it. Like, it just reminded me of one of those scenarios where you're just completely outmatched by the person that you're sharing the airtime with.
Yeah, and pretty much whoever MJF is out there with, unless it's a Chris Jericho or somebody, he's pretty much decimating him too. Why they thought this was going to go over well, I don't know. I don't know whose idea this was, but somebody should have rethunk this one.
Mm-hmm.
As far as I'm concerned, this one should have had a little more. I'm not saying they need writers, but maybe they need writers.
I feel like in some cases.
Yeah. All right, I guess we can go ahead and get through this bad boy right here. Once again, we are talking about AEW Grand Slam. These were pretty much the only matches tonight. Wasn't a match-filled show as, sometimes it is, but really I thought it was a great show. One debut, which we already talked about, which I thought was a great debut. No, she didn't go out there and do anything, but I thought, like I said, she looked amazing, and if she's back out there to do something in the ring, I'm happy to see it. I hope she's all healed up and is cleared and ready to go. With the first match out there, as usual, AEW does their thing and starts us off with a fucking banger. Claudio versus Jericho. Yeah, there were a few botches, but overall I thought this was a pretty good match. They both had some good spots in it. I love that the crowd, no matter if Jericho is babyface or heel, they still treat that entrance like it's a babyface entrance, and they fucking just scream it. I love it. And, they fucking love Claudio, man. He's over as fuck. This crowd was pretty hot for a lot of shit going on tonight, I thought. Great crowd in New York. Jericho gets the win. JAS comes out to start celebrating. And Daniel Garcia is just in there like a sad sack in the background. Like he has to have an ultrasound on his balls by a big fat guy. Call back.
Indeed.
I brought it full circle, Smark. The ball keeps rolling around in my nutsack. My scrotum. A scrotum story.
I'm just kind of getting flashbacks to those old mouses that you see, like the old fucking rollerball mouses that stopped working after about 2 months of use.
Oh yeah. Oh, those were fucking horrible. That's because they get dirt in them.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Now we have these lovely fiber optic mouses. Misa. Yes, I have one too. Mine's wireless though.
Wow.
Well, I have no clue where I even got this thing. We have 3 of these, and I don't remember buying any of them. One of them is purple, so I know my wife bought that one.
Kids can't cut a promo.
What? Who can't now?
Billy Gunn's kids. I don't know. That's hard for me to say for some reason. Billy Gunn's kids can't cut a promo.
Oh, the ass kids? The ass boys?
Yeah,
the ass men? No, they can't really. They're pretty bad. You'd figure Billy would have taught them a little better. I guess maybe they're out there to learn. But yeah, they're not too good either. But
well, he wasn't really the one that cut promos either. He needed to go just sit them down in front of Road Dogg and just have him do it for them.
Yeah, but I mean, we got 2 words for you. I mean, that took talent.
True.
And if you don't like that, we got 2 words for you. Oh, Billy. No, that's not it. All right. Anyway, like I said, good match. Jericho taking the title was a little. I don't think people expected that. I think it. I think Jericho would not. I mean, obviously, this wouldn't have hurt Jericho to take a loss here. This would have done nothing but build up Claudio. So I think it was Christopher Kane saying, "What the fuck? Why did that happen?" I see the why. They like titles on Jericho, no matter what it is. They do. They like it. He's another one that you could get out there and usually won't say anything stupid. Mm-hmm. But I also see no reason to take it off Claudio. Not with the way that crowd was reacting. I'm sorry. I don't think it was worth it.
Yeah, Christopher Kane said that doesn't make any sense in regards to Jericho winning the title. I don't mind it so much because, like, it doesn't seem like Ring of Honor is going to tangibly be its own thing. Like, I don't think they have their own TV show yet. I think they just have, like, Ring of Honor pay-per-views, and that's about it. So, like, it's not like he has obligations to fulfill with the company. I think they're basically just using it as an opportunity to not continue his feud, but, like, escalate the tension between him and Garcia. Because Garcia is the pure champion. They had Jericho win. The Jericho Appreciation Society was all behind him, celebrating. Jake Hager was fucking chewing the scenery, as he always does. Mm-hmm. I love watching him in the background be a ham. He doesn't get enough credit for his just overall goofiness. And then you had, Daniel Garcia just kind of standing way in the way back, kind of eyeballing him a little, and then reluctantly high-fiving him. So that's, I guess, why they're doing it. Whether he needed to win it or not, maybe not, but, like, everybody has their own take on that one, I guess.
Yeah, I guess so. I mean, like I said, if you really think about it, you can see both ways. Like I said, they love having a title on Jericho. Him carrying around. You know what? Maybe he's going on tour for a while, and they want him to fucking carry that around his waist when he's on stage. Who knows? But yeah, I just don't see the reason to take it off Claudio. I thought he was fine with it, and he's like an ROH staple. It's weird decision in my opinion. One of the weird ones they've made. It's not going to be the only one. It's not going to be the last one. So whatever.
It sort of makes sense just in the regards of, like, even outside of the pure title, Ring of Honor was always supposed to be sort of the counterculture to WWE, to sports entertainment. It was more of a sports-like atmosphere. So, like, having the whole Jericho with his whole gimmick being a sports entertainer, having him hold the belt kind of makes sense in that regard, I guess. But like I said, Ring of Honor is not even really a tangible place of it. It's just exactly. Sort of it's an entity within AEW.
Yeah, exactly. It's just it's basically just titles and a couple of matches here and there.
Yeah, it's like, well, not maybe a perfect metaphor, but, like, you remember back in the Attitude Era when they were, like, defending the NWA title, like, on episodes of Raw?
Yeah.
It was kind of like that, to me, at least.
Yeah, I guess you could go with that a little bit. That makes a little more sense. All right, that's a better spot for the chat room. All right, so we have Swerve in Our Glory. Still hate that fucking name. Versus the Acclaimed. My God, is the Acclaimed over, dude. I mean, the crowd absolutely fucking loves the Acclaimed. As they say, everybody loves the Acclaimed. Bowens is walking out after the match. He's scissoring the whole front row. No one cared. They're all just like, yep, stick it there. Go ahead, scissor this motherfucker. It was great. Great match. Carter was selling the knee a little bit. After he landed a little bit weird. Keith Lee dropped him on his fucking head afterwards, basically. And then, with a little help from old Daddy Ass, Acclaimed are new tag team champs. And the pink confetti was flying, and the crowd, for lack of a better term, the crowd fucking exploded, dude. They loved this moment. They loved this moment, and I thought it was pretty cool, man. I really did. I thought it was a great moment for them. People obviously wanted them to have these titles, and they're getting what they want with this match.
Yeah, yeah, for sure. And I guess they were both the Acclaim were both kind of Northeast guys, so they were saying it was happening within their backyard. Part of the reason why the crowd was so behind them, but then even the crowd was behind them at all out too. So they're getting themselves over. They're doing a good job for themselves. It was a pretty feel good moment. I like there was a part in the match where Keith Lee picked up one of the members of the Acclaimed, I forget which, and instead of like lifting him up over his head, he just chucked him to the side, like he just threw a fucking like bag of potatoes.
Like Titus O'Neil style.
He just chucked him to the side. It was pretty great.
The old Titus O'Neil throw. All right, here's what we're gonna do. I'm gonna throw you like I don't give a fuck. Wait, what? Okay.
Pretty much.
I see problems with this, Titus. Okay. All right, this is when we had that little FTR and Ass Boy segment, and yeah, it really was a weird segment. They're not good at promos. FTR, they're fine. This is so fucking weird. But yeah, the fucking crowd, man. Crazy shit.
Maybe that was part of the plan. Maybe like they know what FTR's promo ability is, so they just put like people who are worse at promos like in their segments, so it makes them look like they're good at promos. It's like how like the by comparison friend, where like girls who are only kind of moderately attractive like hang around uglier looking women, so then that way it makes them look more attractive. Like maybe that's the plan here.
Oh, I didn't think about that. That's cool. Maybe.
That is cool.
Maybe that's what's going on. Oh, shit. All right. Okay. So after that, and while I grab a beer, we had Orange Cassidy versus Pac. I mean, we've seen this before, so I kind of expected this to be a good match, as it was. Some great spots by both guys, as I expected. Pac gets thrown at one point outside the ring. He's hanging on the table for the ring bell. Grabs the hammer, hits fucking Cassidy, throws him in the ring. 1, 2, 3 for the pin. I thought it was a good match. Like I said, I thought it was a fun match, and as it's always good to see that little dynamic between, you got Orange Cassidy, the pretty, heavy comedy guy, and then you got Pac, who's the really serious dude. So that dynamic's always good, and he always kind of makes Pac. I think Orange Cassidy is actually trying to make Pac really laugh instead of just get mad, but I really think he's trying to make him laugh. Mm-hmm. Kind of like how Chris Farley, like his only they used to say one of his only goals in scenes with Sandler was to make Sandler break, and he did it many times. Mm-hmm. So I don't know. I almost think that's what's going on here. But they work great together, as far as I'm concerned. What do you think?
Oh, they have excellent chemistry. I've enjoyed all 3 of their matches. The first one, the Revolution one, was really good. The one that happened after that was I also enjoyed that one. They just have really good chemistry together. And it seemed like he won kind of a little bit heelish. I wonder if they're trying to make him a little bit more of a heel.
Maybe. Christopher Kane's question is the greatest. Is Kara Hogan still gay? I don't think you grow out of that.
Well, I mean, I'd be willing to, test it out and see how she feels.
That's not like a shellfish allergy. You can grow out.
But I don't think it has to be an either-or situation. As far as I'm concerned, she could play for both teams.
She might play for both teams. You just might not tell everybody, but she definitely could. That could be something. I mean, Christopher Kane, I see what you're getting at here. I get it. Get it.
It's kind of like how when Rick Rude was on Raw and Nitro. She could be a Rick Rude.
There you go. I get it, man. I do. She could be the next Orlando Jordan.
That was a wild segment, too. Because you had Diamante and I don't know why I said that in a southern way. Diamante. There we go. We got her. And Jade Cargill. I completely forgot who the other person was in that segment. And Diamante promises that she's going to bring out somebody who is just as bad, the original baddie. I'm like trying to think about like who from wrestling, like is it gonna be like Jazz or somebody? And she brought out Trina, of all people. And like it just, I had a flashback. I had the nostalgia of my youth, the old 2000s rap scene. Like, because like they were talking about Fabulous brought down Keith Lee and Swerve. I'm not going to say their name. I hate their name. And then you had Trina, and it was like 2000s night, and it was fascinating. I really enjoyed that.
Wow, nice.
They're using a lot of rappers now too, so that's pretty cool.
Yeah, obviously they're doing that purposely. They're trying to get that old, trying to get the young people in there. Obviously, fuck man, who can blame them? Seriously, who can blame them at this point? All right, so after that, we had Pac did get the win in that match. Like I said, I think I said that already. I don't remember. So we had the 4-way. It's a hell of a 4-way. Britt Baker, Serena Deeb, Athena, and Toni Storm. This is a 4-way I would pay to see if there was anything else going on. And now this was for the women's interim championship for AEW. Not the real one. Not the real one. I thought if anyone looked great in this match, even though Toni Storm retained the title, I really felt that Deeb looked good. She had that little double submission move, and then she worked that into a suplex, and I think she got the kind of the bulk of the good moves tonight. And looks like Britt might have broke her fucking nose again.
Oh yeah, she was bleeding profusely.
And and immediately you could tell she was breathing out her mouth. So I think she might have broke her fucking nose again. But like I said, Storm did retain in that match. Britt jumps Toni Storm from behind, and she wipes her nose with the blood all over and wipes it on Toni Storm's face. I'm sure that was really a great moment for Toni Storm. Jamie Hayter.
Well, she wiped some on her face, but she also she grabbed a big old handful of blood and wiped it on her own stomach, and
yeah,
that made me feel a certain way that it invoked feelings that I didn't know I had. I was like, wow, that's a weird thing to be into. All right, next segment.
It's kind of like thinking Abaddon's hot. Same thing. I guess. I think she's hot. So.
Wouldn't want to fuck a Spirit Halloween store. It is the first day of fall, by the way. We're at midnight on the East Coast.
I think we should move on. Jamie Hayter comes down, and you think she's coming down to attack Britt, but no. She helps Britt. They hug. Everything's just fine. Britt's apology, I guess, did fine. So it turns out we've got Britt, Deeb, and Hayter all beating down Toni Storm and Athena. And as we talked about, next thing you know, we get Saraya walking out there. And like I said, man, I thought she looked really good. I really hope she's there I hope she's cleared and can get back in the ring. That would be awesome. She was very disappointed when she was released from her WWE contract. She made it clear she didn't want to go. She wanted to stay. She wanted to stay with that company, even though she couldn't wrestle. Excuse me. I don't know, but I thought she looked amazing. I think, all we can do is wait and see what she's going to do. But tell me about Smark.
Well, I hope she'll be able to wrestle too, because I feel bad for her. Because she's had her problems, but she's never really been, as far as I could tell, as far as anyone has said, necessarily a bad person per se. It's just she's had some ups and downs and had kind of an unfortunate go of things, especially with the injuries and everything that she's had to endure. And and it just sucks because, especially, I imagine it'd be bad for her to have a bunch of people that are around her be able to come back from injury and then she hasn't been able to, or she very briefly did, and then had to go right back on the shelf. And I do know, it is what it is, but I feel bad. I feel bad for her. I really do. But yeah, she looked good tonight, and like I said, hopefully she'll be able to wrestle sometime soon.
The way it 3D'd at me was fucked up.
Right.
What are you doing? What the fuck is that?
That's Paige's face on the Bray Wyatt belt, the Fiend belt.
Paige, yeah.
They did her so dirty when they let that fucking commercial air.
Dude,
they never should have done that.
She was out of her mind during that commercial. You could see it, dude.
Yeah.
Look at her. She's got the fucking pilled up perma smile going, eyes low. They probably dumped a fucking gallon of Visine in each of them to get her on that commercial. And then they're going to sit there and tell you about their fucking wonderful fucking wellness policy, these fucking hypocrite cocksuckers. Anyway, that was back when... you know what? That was a different time. That was when Vince was there. This is Triple H's show now. He never would do that.
That's right.
Maybe. Possibly. I don't know. Anyway... let's hope she's all good. Thanks, Mark.
I can't figure out how to turn the off-screen share without turning it off on both sides.
It doesn't matter. Just go ahead. I can reshare. I don't even have to. I have no pictures to share anymore, so it doesn't matter. Yeah, you're fine right there. So we get Darby, and he's dragging a body bag full around New York City. And of course no one stops him, because if you're dragging a body bag around New York City, that's fucking normal. There's no one's going to stop you. And a cab even stops for him. A cab won't stop for fucking Danny Glover. But a cab will stop for a fucking white guy in face paint with a body bag. Let me tell you something. That's fucked up right there. As far
At first I thought you were going to say Danny DeVito, and I was like, well, there's a reason for that.
Well, Danny DeVito wouldn't pick up because he's the Penguin.
He's small. We wouldn't be able to see him.
Yes, he could probably squeeze right through that little barrier.
You can put him on the hood. He'd be like a hood ornament. Danny DeVito hood ornament.
Stop. All right. He gets in the cab and he goes, heading to a funeral. Arthur Ashe. I'm like, wow. I'm so interested in this match. But then again, I'm not. Anyway.
I can only imagine, the kind of heckling that, even in today's society, that Darby Allin and his Darby Allin get-up sitting on the subway must have gotten.
Probably nothing. Dude, do you not follow Subway Creatures on Facebook?
I do not.
Oh, you should. You should follow Subway Creatures. Trust me, they've seen much worse. Every day. I don't think there was very much crazy about it. So, anyway, back to the main event, which is right here. Jon Moxley and Bryan Danielson. Now, this was for the vacant AEW championship, since CM Punk once again had to fuck everyone over of fans. So we had, once again, Jon Moxley, Bryan Danielson. We had the Blackpool Combat Club in there tangling in the ring. And holy fuck, what a match between these two, man. I had no doubt it was going to be a great match. I don't think anyone was doubting that it was going to be a great match. But Moxley once again became our champion. Regal came down to celebrate Smark. And right when Daniel Bryan was not about to start yelling at Regal for celebrating, went off the air. We didn't get to see any of that. I wasn't happy about that. Not at all.
It's an interesting dynamic. I thought it was cool that he didn't want to. I don't want to use the word bask, but I'm having a hard time thinking of another synonym for it. He didn't want to taunt or let his adulation get the better of him. He didn't want to show up his stablemate. So he was happy that he won, but he wanted to, he wanted to win it the right way, as it were.
Yeah, I see. It just kind of seemed he was more pissed at Regal.
Although if we're talking about Danielson did not.
Yeah, but I'll tell you, man, it was a great match between the two. There were no notes needed. That was just a fucking good fucking match right there, man.
They had that little exchange where they were both like standing on their heads and just slapping each other. That was pretty cool.
Yeah, just a great match. And like I said, man, I thought it was a good show. Tony Khan had come out and said earlier that this was going to be a really great show. He had some surprises. And there were rumors about like 2 hours before AEW went on air that they were in talks with Soraya Page.
Yeah.
I didn't think she was going to show up this quick. I don't know if they just got wind that she was in talks or what, but that was it. That was AEW. Great show tonight though for Grand Slam. And they set up.
And they're teasing some big surprises for Rampage too. I'm actually probably going to watch Rampage because it looks like it's a pretty good card. I don't always, but this one looked like it's going to be pretty nice. So I'll give it a check out because they got Kingston versus Guevara, and they got a couple other things. I don't know what else I have off the top of my head, but that alone will merit a watch for me. And apparently there is a surprise appearance. That's what F4W is saying, based on what happened during the tapings. I won't spoil it for anybody, including myself. I'm not even going to click on it. But apparently there is a surprise appearance to look out for Friday.
And Guevara's apparently talking about maybe taking a break after his, I think his contract comes up soon.
They unintentionally did him dirty, in my opinion. Because I feel like by not suspending him at all, you turned the people against him, more so than they already were in the situation. Which with him and Kingston, like his,
for what?
Well, in regards to like his little like backstage issue with Kingston.
Oh, well,
I guess he like called him like a fat piece of shit or whatever, and then Kingston tried to beat him up, and then Kingston got suspended. That's why he was off TV for a couple weeks.
Well, Kingston
and they dropped the match at All Out.
Kingston swung at him though.
Yeah, but you can't. If it was a professional workplace environment, they both would have got in trouble. Like, Kingston would have gotten fired, but Guevara probably would have got, at the very least, sent home or, like, suspended for a week or whatever. Like, you can't go, if in a professional workplace environment, if you're going to enforce that, you're going to try to make it that, you can't swing on people, but you can't call your coworkers fat piece of shit. Like, that also can't happen.
No, but it's not like he meant it. I mean, it's not like he was standing in front of his face and they were arguing and he said, fuck you, you're a fat piece of shit. He was in the fucking ring cutting a wrestling promo.
I had heard it was like backstage, though.
Oh, the argument happened backstage because Kingston went thin-skinned for some reason and couldn't take being called a fatso.
Yeah, we all have those days, I guess.
I don't know. That's like me being offended by people telling me I got a big fucking honker. I know it. I don't care. Look, here, there. As you grab your nose, like, oh my god, that's fucking huge. Okay.
I can never really tell if I have a big nose or not because I have a big head, so I feel like everything is just sort of appropriate.
There you go. That's what I think mine's appropriate to my face. I don't know. Whatever. Anyway, man, I'm looking around. I think that's all we got, bro.
Yeah, it sounds right. I think we're about ready to head on out of here.
I think we are. We're looking at about, just about 2 hours, under 2 hours. I like it. I feel like our shows are going faster on here for some reason.
But before we completely wrap it up, a big thank you to everybody that's hung out and chatted tonight. Christopher Kane, King's in the chat here. Dirk stopped by. SBC, as always, as ever. We appreciate all of y'all.
Most definitely, man. Definitely appreciate y'all stopping by. And, of course, you're welcome to leave a comment, like the video. Obviously, keep subscribing to the YouTube, folks, because this is where we're going to be from now on. Mixler's just not working. And like I said, I'm going to cancel it right after I get out of here. They're going to charge me tomorrow if I don't. So I'm not going to pay another month for shit that I don't even, that's not even working. So that's about it, folks. I guess we can wrap up on that note. What you think, Mark?
Sounds good. Let's do it.
All right. Then, everybody, that's about it. We'll do plugs next week. I don't feel like doing them tonight. I'm tired.
Sounds good.
I had no Red Bull or anything today. I'm out of caffeine. I'm even on a bubbly bounce. So, all right, folks. We will see everybody. Like I said, and please, like the video, subscribe to the YouTube, do all that stuff you're supposed to do, and we will be back here next week. I'll be back Sunday night. Hollywood Hangout. See ya.
Adios.